Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice coming to you live from the studios of Video Sign Incorporated this morning. You look outside, it's a big mess out there. I've got my work vest back here that I celebrated Trump's victory with. Of course, I wore that on the day he won. And I got to go outside and do some work. There's all kinds of snow here and that. So I'm taking a respite from the studio, 4680Q, and doing this all on YouTube today from this studio here. I have my Trump hat, Make America Great Again. I got my cat right here, sitting here watching me, and I'm good to go. My name is Paul K. Lemire, of course. And well, maybe I already said that. I don't know. But we're coming to you on this Thursday, Straight Talk Thursday. It's going to be a great day. We have lots to talk about. Welcome to the show. Usually I do it out of 4680Q, of course. That's what you're used to. I wanted to get Jody Burdett on the show today. Why? Well, because Jody was supposed to do a delegation at City Council on Tuesday regarding the budget, but he wasn't there. So I contacted Jody and I said, "What's up? Why weren't you there?" And he said, "I got to explain it to you." And he sent me this little thing about this and that. And I said, "Well, you got to come on the show and talk about it. We got to talk about this." So he's coming in on Monday. Do not miss that show. Do not miss that show. For some bizarre reason, he wasn't at council. I don't think he was allowed to be at council. So we're going to find out why. We're getting to the bottom of this. Everybody's allowed to speak at council. You saw Frank DeLuca or whatever that gentleman's name was. He gave a big talk about the city and everything and the budget, and patted them on the back a little bit for hammering us for 4.9%. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, we'll see why he did not get in there and he wasn't able to speak. So how about that? Now, talking about the weather, and the reason I'm sitting here again in the Video Sign studio rather than over in my usual place at 4680Q is just the weather. And the weather's just crappy. It snowed all morning. I have to go and shovel the driveway again. I'm looking at it now. There's a lot of work out there. Go out there and do that. And the polar vortex, though, is leaving us. It's gone, and we're going to get some better weather in the next few days. But it hasn't let go of its grip on the southern United States yet. I mean, this thing dropped down into Louisiana, New Orleans, 8 inches of snow down there. Bourbon Street. Can you imagine snow on Bourbon Street? Just never heard of. Hammered northern Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, places that usually don't get snow. And some of them have to wait for the warmer weather because they don't have the equipment to plow and that kind of thing. It's a weird situation. In Southern California, we got the Santa Anas kicking up again. The winds that come through the canyons and over the mountains. And started another fire, the Hughes Fire in Castaic, California. And other canyons are going to jump and start getting on fire. It's crazy. And I think terrorists are starting the fires. It's just crazy. Every time a wind blows, there's a fire going. It's pretty sad out there, and they sit and wait for the next big one on top of that. And that's overdue. So the sanctuary state, Gavin Newsom state, the guy who wanted to protect the Delta Schmelz and didn't have water to put out the fires, is getting his share. Now, before we get into the show, I want to talk about my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and of course, Hamill Machine Shop. Now, look at this weather, and I was telling you my car was flashing all kinds of stuff. It's all right now. It was just the weather that was doing it, the 3-degree temperatures out there, minus 17 Celsius, if you will. But it's been brutal. And you don't want to break down. Like, that's the big thing. You don't want to break down on the side of the road in this kind of weather and have to stand out there in minus degree weather, freezing. So what do? You take your car in to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. You see Ken Hunter. Get him to give your car the once over. Give it the big checkup. Make sure everything's okay. He'll put it on his scanner. He'll make sure there's no error codes. He's going to take care of everything for you. take it out for a test drive, make sure it's all right. And he said, watch your suspension this time of year. With this freezing and cold, ice gets up and liquid gets up into your suspension, clogs it up. Then you go down and you hit something hard and bang, you could bust a spring or so. So watch your suspension and also make sure your heater's working because you don't want to go and have your windows all fogged up. You're trying to drive around. It's just not safe. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. And if in this crappy weather you happen to get in an accident, and there's a lot of Subaru drivers out there, just make sure that you take it to him to get fixed. He's going to fix your car, get it out quick, and it'll be in showroom condition. You'll be happy. He'll be happy. I'll be happy. And I thank you for supporting our sponsors. I thank you for watching the show. Thank you for tuning in. And also ask you to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button to the show. You'll get notifications when the show's coming on. You'll get that ding on your phone. And also, it costs nothing. It costs nothing for you to subscribe. So subscribe. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's good for me and it's good for the show. We'll spread the word. We'll get more people involved. And then share the show. If you see it up on Facebook, share it. Let other people in on it. I'm getting more and more people messaging me saying, I like what you're doing. I wanna get involved by talking about it, but I don't want the hassle out there. Well, don't worry about it. That's why I'm here. You tell me what you want to say, and I'll say it on air. Readers' comments. I'll say it and I'll discuss it. So you don't have to get your face out there and have people hassling you. They'll hassle me. Don't worry about it. I'll take it. Anyway, support our sponsors. They support the city. They support the show. So you see my shirt? I love it. Look at this. You're giving me agita. Yeah. And when I watch city council meetings, I get agita. Big time agita, believe me, from these guys. It's amazing. I watched the show on Tuesday, and I had to shut it off for a while. I just couldn't take the baloney. It was just, the baloney was being fed fast and furious. They should have had a caterer come in with bologna sandwiches, because that's what it all was. It was a bunch of bologna sandwiches for everybody. Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. Oh man, and casino revenue. I wish I had a bowl here. Hey, let's use Donald Trump's hat. How about that? Look at it. I got my little hat head here. Let's use this hat. I don't have a bowl. So here we go with the casino revenue, and they try. Tiffany Clark got up and gave us some big long baloney story about it that was just confusing. She spun it and tried to explain it away, but no, she didn't do a good job. And just nobody gives her a real hard time. Tiffany Clark. But here it is. Here's your casino money. $20 million in the hat. So here's what we do. We take 14 million out because that's all they account for, and they put it over here, right? Then you got 6 million left in the hat, right? You got 6 million left. So here's your 14 million. Then they whack it up. 700,000 to the innovation hub. Oh, mamma mia. And then so much for over here. 5.4 million at that. Da, 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 da. And her point is that if they start putting this money in, then they have to take it from somebody else, somewhere else, like the capital budget or something, to put it in. No, Tiffany, it's still in the hat. You took 14 million of the 20 million, you whacked it up between all the departments, and you just got 6 million here. You could take that 6 million and give it to the taxpayers and come in with a zero budget. That hasn't been accounted for. Well, what kind of baloney? This gaslighting has to stop. And then she, of course, threatens. Now, that's the way it works. Very simple. But then she comes in and threatens. What happens if the casino money disappears? On 30 days' notice, they could end it. So what? So they end it. What does that mean? It means nothing. Because last year you found $10 million to spend in capital expenses over and above what you approved. So there's $10 million floating around somewhere. There's also the 7.5 million that we don't pay to transit anymore because the region's running it, and the 1.3 million we don't pay to the hospital fund anymore because we have enough in there to cover our commitment in 2028 when we have to give them the money, and the NRBB sale, 40 million there. So what are we at? Like 50 million? And what else is there? Oh, there's tons of money. There's more money floating around this city than you could shake your stick at. So don't give me that. So what? So what? We don't get the money. They cancel it in 30 days. Yeah? You want to cancel our money? Where's our hardball people on city council? Where's Mayor Jim? So you want to cancel our money, huh? Okay. Guess what we're going to do? The MAT that they were arguing about a few weeks ago? Guess what? It's going to $20 a hotel room. Every room you rent, we get $20. How about that? You think we can't raise a few million on that to make up for the casino lost revenue? There's lots of ways to do it. I fence off all of Fallsview. If people want to come in, you should charge them $5 to get through the toll. There's so many different ways you can make this money up. Do not let these people gas you. They're gaslighting you, right? And this, oh, we can only spend the casino money certain ways. Another gaslight. There's no laws about where they can spend the money. They could put it all towards taxes if they wanted to and give us a 30% rebate on their taxes. Would that be wise? Probably not. But they could do it. Well, they'll show you a list of 5 demandments. Oh, yeah, we got to put it here. We got to put it there. We got to put it there. No, they're not laws. They're nothing. They're something the city council made up. You know why? They made it up so that they didn't blow it all. They needed those rules for themselves so they don't blow all the money. Because what they would do is take the money and just blow it. Now they have to go by these standards that they internally set up. There's no law about the money. We can do what we want with it. It's our money. It's our money because we put up with the inconvenience of having casinos and the people who go to the casinos. 13 million people a year come here. They use our streets. They use our sewers. They use our water. They use everything. I mean, 13 million people. There's only 100,000 in Niagara Falls. Believe me, they use it more than we do. So don't let them gaslight you with all this. As much as they get the money, we get the money. It's our money. It's our money. It's not theirs. You think Jim Diodati and Victor Peterangelo, Vinny, I think the guy said his real name was Vince or something. Victor and Mike Strange and Ruth Ann Newestag and Wayne Campbell, and we go to the other side with Lori Lococo and Tony Baldinelli, Mona Battelle, and Chris Dabrowski. You think it's their money? No, it's not their money. It's our money. It's our money. Just don't let these people push you around. That's all I'm saying. They're full of baloney, and they fearmonger you into believing them. We have a weak council, and all their goal is to raise taxes. You saw it. You saw it. One person voted against the budget, Lori Lococo. One person voted against 700,000 of the Innovation Hub, Lori Lococo. That's it. Other than that, they all put their hand up. And you know what really makes me mad? What really makes me mad is people like Mona Patel. And if she gets up and gives a 10-minute speech on why she's against the budget and how next year they got to come up with more ways to cut the budget down because people can't afford it, they're homeless, they can't afford their house. She went through this whole diatribe, this whole bunch of, I'm not going to say it, I'm going to use the word baloney, but you know what I mean, BS. And then promptly sits down and votes for the budget. I'm serious, folks. I'm serious. She gets up and talks. She gets up and talks and puts on a good grandstanding dog and pony show. Like she really cares. Well, if she really cares, she'd do what Lori LaCoco did and say, no, I can't approve this budget. I don't approve of this budget. And I'm voting against it. Chris Dabrowski, the same thing. I don't like it. I'm voting against it. There was one person. There should have been three, maybe four. But they just love to talk and love to make you think they're concerned and they care about you. But at the end of the day, they vote for it. They vote for it. Right? So I'm laughing about that. And then when the Innovation Hub came up, this was the most disgusting display I've ever seen. They got their $700,000. And I have to ask, is Counselor Strange working for him? Is he their public relations manager? He's got to be. He got up and told everybody how great they were and what they do. And he had all these questions that were written out for him. I mean, it's so staged. It's not even, they don't even try to hide it from us anymore. It's just a big stage city council meeting. Somebody hands him in the in-camera meeting what he's got to say. Here, this is what you're going to say. He asked this Bordenave guy every question that Bordenave would have liked to answer. Never gave him any hard questions like, where's your books? How come you're not showing us your books? No, he gave him a question. So what do you do with this? Oh, we're bringing in these people and this. Oh, yeah, small business. We're doing that. Hey, if you're doing so good, why do you need 700,000 of our tax dollars? That's the question I would ask them. You sound like you're doing fantastic over there. You're doing this. You got these startups. You're doing all this small business. Oh, all these people are coming in. You're teaming up with the library to use our thing. Why do you need us? Why do you need our money? Nobody asked them that. Oh, it was just softball questions with the answers all scripted, so he could tell us how great it is. I swear to God, Mike Strange was working for these people. Had to. He fed Bordenave all the questions perfectly. Question after question. So he could make a case for his pitch for money. It was sickening, to be honest. It really was. It was so scripted. I'm looking at it going, am I watching like some TV show here? Like some sitcom or a series? Yeah. And other counselors did the same thing. This guy has these guys slickered, believe me. I mean, and I just laugh. It just made me laugh, the whole thing. It was just so stupid. And Bordenave, this guy, I don't think he's that bright neither. He could have got $2 million from these people. Oh, they're going to, believe me, they should ask for $2 million. Dave, what's the matter with you? You got suckers on the hook. Don't quit asking for money until they say they don't want to give you anymore. Unbelievable. He could have got $2 million. He blew it. Yeah. Or Navi, you could have give all yourselves 100% raises. It's just a make work program to me. That's all it's got to be. We can't see their books. So it was unbelievable. He could have got $2 million from these cheerleaders easy. Oh, and then Counselor Only 8, Ruth Newesteg there, Ruth Van Newesteg, started to blame everything on the region. Oh yeah, it's the region's fault. Triple F followed suit, and really, it really had nothing to do with this budget meeting. Doug Ford already said he was going to amalgamate the region. He already wanted to. COVID came along and screwed them all up. As far as that went, they haven't done it yet, but they've been talking about this for months. And how long have we been saying on this show? How long have I been saying? 126 politicians running 13 cities in the region is just outrageous. Outrageous. We need like 12 people. And that's why Ford wanted to amalgamate it. We're spending way too much on politicians that do nothing. Do nothing politicians. All they do is rob our pockets of tax dollars. Yeah. So they went on about this, on and on. Then you had this guy, Frank Del Duca, or whatever his name was, a nice gentleman, got up and gave his pitch about what he thinks about the city and blah, blah. And he started on the region. And right then, Mayor Jim Scheer said, Frank, this isn't a regional meeting. We have nothing to do with amalgamation. We got to run our city. This is the budget meeting. Just can't control a meeting. That's the problem. So here they are, the region, and then Triple F gets up. I mean, it's so ridiculous. What have we got on this city council? Where do we find these people? How do we get these people? Where do they come from? I sat and interviewed most of the people running for city council, and I could count 12 or 13 people who were qualified and were interested in saving taxpayer dollars and everything else. Where do we find this group? How do they get elected? Now, she asked a question about roads. Triple F. What roads are being surface treated? She wanted to know. And whoever got up, Eric Idle there, or one of the guys, and I've said, well, all the roads are in the agenda. Did you read it type of thing? Like, they're in the agenda. Like, I'm not going to name off all the roads, but, they're mostly rural roads. They're in the agenda, which tells me again, and this is a constant thing with Councillor Mona Patel, Triple F. We call her Triple F. We rated them and we gave her an F. 3 people gave her an F. Triple F. She doesn't read the agenda. She doesn't read the agenda. This is about the 5th time I can count her asking a question that's right in the agenda. And she asked the question anyway. She asked the question anyway because she doesn't go through it. That's the only conclusion you can come. Either she doesn't go through it or she's got a very bad memory. And either one of them isn't good. Oh, man. They'll never meet our expectations. No way are they ever going to meet our expectations, people. Taxpayers will say, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, they will never meet our expectations because they don't have the ability. And our staff are all tax and spend agents. They don't get elected. There's no votes for them. So they come by and just put up this thing, hey, we need 8%. And then of course, comes down, the mayor, you got to make the mayor look good. So they bring it down to 5. What was it? What are we going to end up with? I don't know. I can't remember. 5.9% or something. I don't know. 4.9%. Yeah, 3.9 and a point for asset management funds. Lori Lococo asked to delay more hiring. They've hired 50, 60 people. They want to. And they said, no, we need them. We need them. She was dismissed. And then given a long story about needs. Oh, we need more people. We got more people living in the city. Oh, yeah, we do have more people living in the city, more housing. We got $8 million more in revenue. And then you turn around and spend $15 million more because you can't live within your means. You can't live within your means. This city is so top heavy, it's not funny. Hire more, hire more, hire more, hire more administration. So we get a 4.9% increase this year from this well-planned and scripted dog and pony show. Final numbers are what they planned all along. I mean, this is all set up beforehand. Don't think that they came up with this in the meeting. Oh, we're going to get here, we're going to get there, we're going to... No, this was all planned. It's obvious. It's obvious. They went to 4.5 from 6.6 and settled us down, and then came in at 3.9, which coincidentally was what they were talking about since day one. Oh, we have to raise it at least by the cost of living. And the other percent for asset management. 4.9 all planned and acted. That takes us to like 23% over the last 4 years. Yeah, it's compounded. Interest, taxes on taxes on taxes. All planned. Signed, sealed, and delivered. The only one opposed, Councilor Lococo. And I'd have to say that anybody who's opposed, and anybody who's saying not to hire so many people, and anybody who's that is fighting for the taxpayer. And it's really nice to see one person on council fighting for the taxpayer, but it doesn't do a lot. Appreciate your effort, Lori. Appreciate it for us. You know, much love. But when the rest of them are there, um, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So yeah, pretty hypocritical to sit there and talk about things. We got to cut for the people. The people can't afford it. Triple F can't afford, and then vote for the budget instead of voting against it. I don't know. And the guy who really disappointed me this time around, and I'll drop his name in a moment. You just hang tough there because I had to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You know, I always love a good pizza, and I'm a pizza snob. A lot of pizza I don't like. Some pizza gives me this agita, so I can't eat it. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, no problem. They use the Mancini family recipe for sauce and crust. Mike blends Saputo mozzarella with brick cheese to put on the pizza. Beautiful cheese. And he knows how to mix it in the right ratio with the sauce so you don't get overwhelmed by sauce or cheese. It's fantastic. They even use cornmeal on the crust. Old Mancini recipe for the crust and sauce. I love it. And they're not one trick. They're not a one trick pony. Not a one trick pony. They have all kinds of good stuff there. Steak subs, panzerotti, steak and cheese poutine, regular poutine. You got to go through the menu. They have it all. They really do. And their wings are second to none. They're very, very good. I love their wings, and I'm another guy who is pretty picky about my wings. Pete's Pizza on Victoria does it all. Open on Friday and Saturday till 2 in the morning. So when you come back and you've had a couple wobbly pops, hey, you're good to go. You're good to go. Don't worry about it. They got your back. At Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, check them out, 905-374-2222 or pizzapizzavictoria.ca. You can order online, skip. They do it all over there, whatever you need. But I guarantee you, go get a pizza. I've sent 4 or 5 people there. They've listened to my show and went. And they report back to me and say it was excellent. So if you don't believe me, because they're sponsoring the show, believe some other people. And believe me, when they wanted to sponsor the show, I said, if I don't like your pizza, you can't sponsor. And I can't talk about a product that I don't believe in. I don't like. They're my sponsor. That's all I can tell you. Thank you very much for sponsoring the show. Support our sponsors. They support the city. And definitely support the show by subscribing to this video. So back to the counselor that I was very disappointed in. And that was Victor Peterangelo, Counselor Peterangelo. Now, Counselor Peterangelo used to run the finance committee before strong mayor's power came in and gave it over to Mayor Jim Diodati. Who's your daddy? Diodati, that's his saying. So I expected him, being a former finance committee chair, and he's the one who presented the budget over the years, that he would be pretty well involved with this. Like he'd get up and really make cases for a lot of different things and ask a lot of questions. Not a peep out of him. Not one word. I think he got up at the end talking about something. I don't know what. But he never even talked about the budget and the spending and the 700,000. Nothing. I mean, I expect nonsense from Mike Strange, Newesteg, Baldinelli, and Patel. I expect nonsense from them. I mean, you know, they I don't know, they're just not interested or whatever. They're just time wasters, and I don't think they're that with it. I mean, Lori Lococo did her job. Wayne Campbell wasn't there. He's usually pretty good. Vince Carrier was really good. But Victor failed the taxpayers this time around, as far as I can see, without getting up and asking any questions about the budget. And he did the same with the capital budget. I mean, we're talking some big money here. We're talking like $200 million, maybe more, 210 million between the capital budget and the operations budget. And not a word, no questions, thousands of entries, thousands of expenses, thousands of dollars of revenue coming in. Not a suggestion of how maybe we can raise more revenue or how we can cut expenses. Very, very, very disappointing. And I guess he couldn't find anything to talk about. He was in line with the budget, or he had his walking orders, he had his marching orders. You're going to okay it and be quiet, or I don't know. I don't know, but it was very, very strange. And I'm not talking about Mike Strange. Odd. And I think what somebody should make a motion to do is they should make a motion to have a bylaw that every year council has to come in with a zero, and I'm talking about a big fat egg, zero increase in the budget. So whatever it is in 2025, there should be a bylaw passed that they have to come in with the very same budget in 2026. Everyone's going to say, but Paul, there's inflation. Our prices go up just like everybody else. Because that's what Tiffany Clark did. She got up there, started crying and whining about it. Our prices go up like everything else. Who cares? Who cares? You come in at a zero budget. In other words, you tighten your belt, you cut expenses, and you present a zero increase on the budget. And ladies and gentlemen, it's bylaw. That's where we have to start. These guys have to start living within their means, like anybody else. If you balance a checkbook, you know, at the end of the day, if your bank account has no money, you can't write a check. You can't write a check, you can't cash. They do, because they know they can come and grab us for it. They don't have to, though. There's millions of dollars floating around. So that should be that. And the only way, if it's such a dire situation that they need more money, or else the city collapses or something bad happens, like it just collapses, then it's got to be a unanimous vote of council to raise that budget limit. So if we're at 165 million this year, next year will be 165 million. That's what they're aiming for when they come back to the mayor with their budget staff. And if they need more, they have to explain it, and then council has to unanimously approve it. One person says no, it doesn't happen. And that's my way of controlling these guys. I think we have to do this. We just see it escalating every year, more hires, more this, more that. We get 8 million more in revenue and they spend 15 million. We can't go on like this. Taxpayers flip the bill. And then they're playing games with the numbers by underestimating it. The casino revenue. Remember the 6 million sitting in the hat? Where's that? They're going to get it. Where is it? Oh, just in case the casino. No, casinos, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if it does, we'll deal with it as a city. So maybe a couple roads won't be able to be done that year because the casino quit giving us money. And then we got to revamp for next year. There's ways to get around it, is what I'm saying. But while it's there, let's use it to help the people. Oh, yeah, they want to squirrel it away. They want to hoard it away. And they got $100 million sitting around or whatever, just squirreling away for some big catastrophe. Listen, no other city gets it, and they managed to come in with a budget that makes sense. We get this money. And I love when they compare, oh, everybody else is going up 8% and 7% and 9%. Who cares? Seriously, you guys, who cares? They don't get 20 million bucks. What do I care what they're doing with their council? Why do you compare us to them when we get 20 million? We should be the lowest tax increase. Not in the middle of the road. No, we should be the lowest. We got 20 million, they don't. We shouldn't be in the middle. We should be at the very top. We're the lowest tax increase in the region, 1%. Or zero. Why? Because we have the casino money, then you don't. Too bad. Too bad. That's what we get for hosting 2 casinos. Then there's going to be more. I don't know. I'm going to run for mayor. No, I'm not. I couldn't put up with it. I couldn't put up with it. It would drive me nuts. And it's not just a 4.9% increase. Now we've got the region, we got the utilities, everything's going up. The property taxes go up, so rents go up for people. Rents go up, prices go up. Business owners not going to take the hit. They don't have any money. They've already been hit from all sides. The province, the feds, you name it. They're getting crunched from all over the place, and now from the city again. Once again, 23% in the last 4 years. So everything's going to be more expensive. We know that. In some cases, it's going to be unaffordable. People aren't going to be able to pay their rent or keep their houses. Eventually, they're going to tax us to the point where people got to start liquidating. Restaurant sales are going to go down. People will be laid off. Council sits there applauding themselves for the 4.9%. Oh. But like they did something great, but they really didn't do anything great. All they did was add to our expenses and make it worse off for us. Like I say, the last four budgets, 4%, 7.9%, 4.9%. This year, another 4.9%. Compounded tax on top of tax for a total of about maybe 23% increase over 4 years. And it's never going to end. It's never going to end because every year they get away with this. It's the same dog and pony show. Same thing every year, except for the 7.9% year, because that was a catch up year. We're going to catch the taxes up. Yeah, sure. Anyway, zero's not attainable with these guys. Let's face it. We're never going to get that. They don't want to find efficiencies. They don't even talk about it. Do you ever hear them talk about that? They talk about this and they talk about that. What do they never talk about? Oh yeah, we're going to take 50,000 from the firefighters, $30 million budget. Woohoo! Ooh, big rollers. They're really finding efficient. Don't even pay attention to them. Don't even pay attention to them. They never turn to another food source because we're the food source. When they never cut their food consumption, hey, we're going on a diet. No, they just feed until there's no more food left for them. And then they finally expire. So everybody goes broke, and then nobody can pay anymore anyway. They are finally slayed by a white knight, these monsters, these food-eating monsters. And in our case, slaying them, the white knight that slays them, are going to be the voters. We're going to vote them out. Vote them out. That's the best way. They can't run the city. They can't keep our taxes low. They don't want to find efficiencies. Vote them out. And it really makes me laugh too. I was just thinking about this the other day. Where the hell are the other 24 people who ran for city council? There was 24 other people. There's 32 that ran for city council last time. Where are all these people? They're running around talking about cutting taxes and everything else when they were campaigning. Where are they now? They just forget about city council? They never made it, so they don't care anymore? They're in the studio with me talking about it, complaining about the taxes, how the city was run, why we have to cut taxes, blah, blah, blah. They're right in the studio. And I haven't heard from one of them. No, none. Nobody. I mean, say Jody Burdett. He's the only guy who ever gets there and does stuff. Jody Burdett's right on it. He's highly involved in every city council meeting. He's the only one I hear from. The odd time I'll hear from Joe White, something. I think he ran for mayor, Joe. So now they're going to show their faces again in 2026 on the campaign trail. I mean, they got to take a lesson from Lori Lococo. She went to every city council meeting for I don't know how many years before she ran. She understands the way it works. So 2026 can't come soon enough for me. Let's go. I don't know where they are, these people. They're yapping around election time, but I haven't seen one of them. I haven't talked to one of them. Not one of them has anything to say. I don't hear any of them commenting on anything that city council's doing. You think they'd be there saying, hey, wait a minute, like Jody Burdett, he's the only guy. Oh, well, that's what happens. Anyway, over to fewer comments. We always have viewer comments on the video, so I like reading them. Dave Wheeler, at Dave Wheeler. How much is held in reserves? How many reserve funds are there? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. You think you can get a straight answer out of these people? There's so much jibber jabber and moving holdco, this, that, money here, money there, that reserve fund, this reserve fund. It's amazing. It's amazing. They start putting money all over the place. You don't know where it is. Go. You know, you want to spend some money, Dave. Let's do a forensic audit and find out where all the money is. Then we'll find out how much we got sitting around, and then we'll find out why we shouldn't have been taxed for the last 4 years. But yeah, good question. Great question. John Ringo Beam has been searching for the answer to that question for 20 years. And now they're going to sign, they're going to have the building corporation, Niagara Falls Building Corporation, partner up with developers to build stuff. Oh boy. Oh boy, 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 boy. At Dave Wheeler, it amazes me that Trump, yeah, we got my Trump stuff here, right? Trump uses YMCA, which is the gay anthem. He's talking about the Village People and YMCA, the song, right? To you, I say, why? Dave, why? Why are you asking that question? Trump has nothing against gays. He's never shown some kind of hatred for the gay community. A lot of the gay community voted for him, so why wouldn't he have a YMCA? Yeah, why wouldn't he? I don't know. You asked me the question. I'm just telling you the answer here. I don't know. At the Iceman 69, we are recognized as one of Hamilton's Niagara's top employers 2025. Media Corps Canada Incorporated staff editors wrote a thing January 15, 2025. Here are some of the reasons why the city of Niagara Falls was selected as one of Hamilton Niagara's top employers. And there was a copy and pasted article that was way too long to read here. But it goes on to say why Niagara Falls is a great place to work, including professional development, paid internships, a variety of work options, flexible hours, shortened or compressed work weeks, and hybrid work options. Well, that's just wonderful. So that's why we're hiring all these people. They're coming here and we're paying them sunshine list wages and benefits. They're second to none. The city also helps employees plan for the future with retirement planning assistance, along with contributions to a defined pension plan. Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice of the taxpayers. We're paying for it. Thank you very much, Iceman, for recognizing how nice we are to our employees. And I laugh my head off at this one. A defined pension plan. They don't have them anymore. Defined pension plan is like a dinosaur. Nobody can afford them. Most places have a contributions. You contribute so much a year and they match it, right? And whatever you got in that fund is what makes your pension down the road. But defined pension plans went out GM in them. I don't even think they have them anymore. They're just so expensive. Actuarially, they can't predict what's going to happen, especially when technology and medicine has come such a long way. It broke a GM almost. I mean, they had to take hundreds of millions of dollars in write-downs to contribute to their defined pension plan because their actuaries couldn't figure it out. That's unbelievable that they get that. If they do, I don't know. That's what it says here. And we pay for it. We pay for it. And let's see. There are replies to that comment at 881 Slick says 8 counselors, 3 recognition for council. Can't wait to hear you, Mike Strange. This is insane how they're literally laughing at the people of this city. I agree. At Penny Brookify, from my experience working at the city, there's different strokes for different folks. The article featured James Dowling, CPA. He is a great employee and deserves every opportunity, but he's also non-union. It's a very different experience for the lowly union worker on the front lines. If the city acted more equitable to its employees and stopped the nepotism, it would be a better place to work. So that was a reply to John Beams being the best place to work in Hamilton, Niagara. So over to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Shop, and Bob Benner of Hamel Machine Shop owner is going to be in the studio tomorrow. It's going to be great. He's a great guy. But basically, what I can tell you about Hamel is that if you need anything in metal fixed, if you need anything in metal um, uh, machined, or even made, custom made, they can do it. That's what they do at Hamel Machine Shop, all metal, customized gates for your backyard. They can do that. They can weld them up for you. Any kind of machining they can do. They have laser cutters. They have 3D printers. Whatever you need done, you take it to Hamel Machine Shop, and they're going to tell you how to fix it, and they'll fix it for you. Now, even if you don't know, if you got something you're not sure of, take it to Hamel. Take it to Hamel. They'll tell you. They'll tell you how to do it. They'll tell you how to fix it. Unbelievable. Yeah. So don't worry about it. Just go to Hamel Machine Shop. Let them take a look at what's broken and let them fix it. And if you need gates for your backyard, any custom metal work, take it there. They can do it. You should see some of the stuff they've done for the wineries. Go to hamelmachine.ca and you'll see the beautiful metal work they've done for the winery tasting rooms and that kind of thing. They're unbelievable. I wouldn't even doubt, those beautiful, signs that you put on the front of your house, all laser cut metal with your address and that on it. They can do that. I guarantee you they can do that. Hamel Machine Shop. You got to get down and see them. Tomorrow, Bob Benner's going to be on the show. He's going to tell you more about what they do. And they've been around since 1948, so they're not a one-hit wonder here. They've been around a long time serving the industry of Niagara Falls. They work with the city, fixing their equipment they need repaired. Yeah, they're the place to go. And stick around for tomorrow when Bob comes in. But give him a call if you have any problems with anything at home, anything you need done. Give them a call. I'm sure they can help you, and if they can't, for some bizarre reason, they will guide you to where you can get it fixed. So awesome people, great people. Hamel Machine Shop. Support our sponsors. They support us. They support the show. And don't forget to subscribe to the show. So looking at the Niagara Falls Review, and I see Jim Diodati is blaming the budget increase partially on the homeless. Hey, you still have Trump and climate change, Jimmy. You haven't blamed them yet, but I'm sure you're going to get to it. He says that they suck a lot of money from the city because they got to go clean up after them and everything. But Jimmy, you're the mayor, and you haven't done anything to alleviate the homeless problem. So if you look in the mirror, you might see who's responsible. It isn't the homeless. Well, he hasn't put a motion through to move them all to one place. See, because this is what I would do if I was in his shoes right now. I would put a motion through to move everybody, all these encampments, everybody who's living outside in the streets, to one place. Here's where you're going to live. And there's a tent there for you if you have nowhere to stay at night. You can go in the tent or whatever we can afford to build when we finally get around to it. But we got to keep them in one place. Why? Because they do make a mess of the streets and it costs us money for crews. Why? Because they do need help from PSWs, and they do need help from service workers who can help them with any mental problems they have or addiction problems they have. The problem is these people have to wander all around town to find them and clean up after them. So it costs a lot of money. What if we moved them to one place where everybody knows where they are, and that the social services workers know where they are? They don't have to run around town looking for them and finding them dead in this kind of weather because they're in some bush somewhere where nobody even knows they are and they can't get help. They flake out from drugs or whatever, booze, and then they freeze to death. It's better to have them in one area. And I know people are going to say, oh, yeah, it's segregation. No, it isn't segregation. It's doing what we need to do, what's right for them. And we can remedy some of their problems, perhaps. I mean, when they're all together, there's less city resources that have to do it. You could put porta potties there. You could put garbage receptacles there. You could put refreshment centers there where they can go and get, water or something, whatever they need, So It'd be a lot better having them all together. Big cities do it. Skid Row in LA, 50 blocks, 75,000 people are all living on one place. If they can't vote anywhere else, they're sent to Skid Row. That's where you go. That's where you can get help. That's where everything is to help you. And, they say they're all in it together. Well, let's get all in it together and get them all together too so we can help them. The mayor has to recognize the fact that whatever the city's been doing for the last 12 years or 16 years since he's been mayor hasn't worked. It's getting worse, not better. And in hand with that, the city's getting worse. So a new solution has to be found, and that would be my thing. Like LA, Skid Row, Kensington, and Philadelphia, we need our own legal encampment area. If you're going to pitch a tent, it's not going to be on the city street. You're not going to be in a doorway with shopping carts. You're going to be in this area there. That's where you're going to be, and we'll give you a tent if you need it. We'll save a ton of money. Now, how much are tents? $100? Whatever. So that would be the simple and quick solution for now. And then we look into building, small houses or whatever. I mean, there's some people who are there because they just don't have money. They're not addicted to anything necessarily. They just don't have anywhere to live. So, back to the idea of after the war, the wartime houses. But there are solutions to this, and to sit and blame them, blame them. I don't blame them. Do I like the fact that there's people living on the street? No. Do I want to move them all to one area and get them off our streets and know where they are? Yes. But I don't blame them. I don't blame them. And this doesn't mean that when they're in these little encampments where they all are, that they can't move around the city. They can come out and go take a bus or go wherever they want. They can move around. It's not like they're in a compound and they can't go anywhere. So, we got to come up with new ideas. Okay, maybe that's not the right idea. Maybe people don't agree with it. That's why Ford wanted to use the notwithstanding clause, because people take it to court, say it's a violation of their rights. They should be able to live on the street and crap on the street. And no. That's why Ford wants to use the notwithstanding. So they can't do that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens, but there's got to be structure and rules. There's got to be a somewhere for them to go that they can get help in that. And it's got to be in one area. It can't be all over town. A bush on McLeod Road, a bush by the train station, a bush over here, a bush over. They got to be put together. I may be wrong. Leave some comments. What do you think? What do you think? That's why we have comments on these videos. And down south now, Trump is cleaning house. He's banned DEI. And now he said that the American flag is the only flag to be flown on government and public buildings. Man, I've been telling council that for 2 years. Maybe now they're going to listen to Trump's doing it. I don't know. Only the Canadian flag should be flown, just like council meeting would start with "Oh Canada." That's the way it is. We're in Canada. Canada first. Patriots, come on, ban all other flags. And the world's going to start dropping this DEI bad habit, although our CAO doesn't want to. But DEI is DOA. You're getting rid of it. They're moving in the United States to an age of protectionism and meritocracy, where they're going to protect America, American industry, American economy, and they're going to award positions on merit, not on skin color, not on sexual preference, on merit. If you're qualified to do the job, you get it. That's what they're going to. Canada's got to follow suit. Basically, the CAO says they're going to be looking for DEI hires rather than the best and most qualified for the job. Didn't he get the memo? It's over. Get with it, Jason, or shuffle down the road to some other city. Yeah. And that's neat. Trump's doing a lot of stuff. There's more stuff I'll tell you in a minute. But interesting article I saw in the review from the Canadian Press. Ottawa has signed agreements with 9 Ontario municipalities, including Niagara, to spread $91 million over the next 2 years to help with municipal homeless encampment response plans. There you go. And just what I was talking about. These plans include creating new shelter places and increasing transitional housing options, which is fantastic. They signed similar deals with other provinces rather than municipalities because those provinces would match the federal funds, but Ontario and Saskatchewan wouldn't. So they're dealing with directly with municipalities rather than provincial partnerships. So I don't know what Ford's are about that. I think it might be because he has his own plans on how he's going to deal with this using the non-withstanding clause and that kind of thing. I don't know why he wouldn't partner up or with the feds, but maybe he has his better plans that are going to be coming down the pipe. They didn't want to be in a partnership. Stay tuned, but this is good to see that there's going to be some money going to the homeless, who Jim Giodaddy blames for some of the increase in taxes. Anyway, it seems like an unsolvable epidemic at this point, and it's going to be good to see the government throwing some money at it. And I still am an advocate of putting them all together and knowing where they are and trying to help them the best we can. Now back to Trump for a minute. He's riled everybody up. He's really going crazy. Well, he's not going crazy. He's going common sense. He has Canada riled up. He has the left wing riled up with his pardons. He's eyeing Shifty Shift and the rest of the Biden cartel. They may not be as pardoned as they think. Interesting comments he made on a show with Sean Hannity, saying that, the funny thing is, Sean, the only guy Joe Biden didn't pardon was Joe Biden. That's funny. I guess Joe Biden thinks he has some kind of presidential immunity, maybe, but no, it's interesting that Trump noted that. And the ICE is already setting down on illegal immigrants. As the criminal illegals are being rounded up, loaded on military planes, and shipped out. ICE is doing helicopter drops in problem areas, taking illegals in custody, and the prisons are being emptied of all these criminals. Oh, yeah. Even Kamala is freaking out. He's even got her freaked out. She's blaming her husband for her election loss. That's what I read. Blaming her husband for her defeat. Oh, yeah. I wonder how long that marriage is going to last. I heard rumors before that they were done. So this might put the knife in it. And he didn't help her any with his dallyings with the babysitter or whoever the hell it was. He was pulling an Arnold Schwarzenegger there and having a kid with her and all kinds of stuff this guy pulled. So who knows? So far there's been 300 arrests, 296 illegals detained, and U.S. assets deployed to the border to stop the influx and then begin rebuilding the wall. So already 2 days in, what is it? He got elected, he got inaugurated on Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Thursday, 2.5 days, 3 days in. He's already putting all his plans into motion. Got himself out of the WHO. He pulled the United States out of that, pulled out of the Paris Accord, drill baby drill. It's all coming to fruition. Everything he said he is going to do, he's already doing it. It was interesting to read the letter from Joe Biden. He handed that to one of the guys that suggested he look in the drawer and see if Joe left him a letter, a guy from Fox News. And sure enough, there was the letter, and he was going to give it to him to read it. And he said, I better see what he put in there first. But they read it. There's nothing in there. He congratulated Trump for winning and blah, blah, blah. A little bitterness in the letter. It was very short. Something somebody wrote up for him. But it didn't come from the heart. You know that from Biden. He didn't even write it, guaranteed. And then, especially him being bitter because the Democratic Party pulled a coup d'etat on him. He still believes that he could have beat Trump. And, he was calling Trump a Nazi and Hitler and everything. So, there might have been an apology in there. It was campaign stuff. But no, just a straight congratulations. I hope you do well. And the home's waiting for Joe. He will float to California, and home's waiting for him. So that'll be it for him. Hopefully, we don't see him or Kamala around anymore. Although she has this big dream of running in the next election. I can't even imagine it. She couldn't even make it to Iowa. Nobody likes her. Her popularity is the lowest of anybody. So if she runs again, I can't believe one person in the Democratic Party or a supporter will give her a dime to run. It just don't make sense. And I'm looking and saying, there's pretty Joe Biden and Imhoff, her husband, there were getting pretty cozy at one of the events. I think it was the State of the Union. Maybe there'll be an alliance there. Maybe monkeying around once Joe goes into the home. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But stay tuned to Trump all day, every day. He's doing what he said he's going to do. Promises made, promises kept. Make America great again. And Canadians, this doesn't say make Canada great again, or make Bolivia great again, or Brazil great again, or Venezuela great again, or anybody else great again. He has no mandate to help Canada at all. We have to help ourselves. We have to help ourselves by getting can you imagine? We had to be forced to get our borders in order and to keep terrorists out of the country. Had to be forced to by another leader of another country. Why isn't our leader doing this? Well, we know why. Same reason he gave 10.5 million to a terrorist who killed Americans and came back to Canada as a terrorist, fighting for the terrorists, the Taliban. That's why. We know why. Anyway, that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. Lots more coming. Lots more coming about the increase and comments from it. And I get all kinds of people messaging me stuff every day. But tune in tomorrow as I welcome Hamel Machine Shop owner Bob Bender. And like I said, tells us tales from the machine shop. He's going to have some great stories to tell. And of course, that'll be finally Friday. We hit the weekend. And then Monday, Jody Burnett's coming in, and he's going to tell us what all the hubbub was about and why he couldn't speak to city council at that budget meeting, which we all expected. At least I did. So we're going to deal with that. And what else is going on next week? Well, not much, really. I mean, no council meetings. We have to wait till the beginning of February for that. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot going on. There's going to be a lot more comments on the budget. We've got a lot of people. It's not just me who's interested in this. I'm hearing from a lot of people that really don't want to put their name out there because they fear backlash in that. So they're telling me, and I'll relay what they say. Believe me, I'm not going to hold back anything. I like all these people on city council. I've told you that before. I have nothing against them. I know most of them, and they're good people. But when it comes to business, when it comes to our money, somebody has got to say something. We can't sit back. It doesn't mean I like these people any less or have anything against them. Business, it's just like Michael Corleone said, it's just business. Nothing personal, it's just business. And if you don't do a good job and you'll stick up for taxpayers, I'm going to let you know. So don't get all upset. Don't get your panties in a knot. And he makes strange that he's telling me I lied. Don't about the 7.6%. Obviously, he knew it wasn't going to be that. But don't get all bunched up there, buddy. Nobody should. This is business, and you gotta if you want to work in the kitchen, you got to be able to put up with the heat. And if you can't, get the hell out. Do something else. And that's another question I have before I go. Why is a real estate agent able to vote on planning matters that have to do with real estate, whether it's an apartment building or house or a new tract of land development, house development? How can this be? Isn't that a conflict of interest? Hey, I'll leave you with that one. I'm out of here. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from the studios of Video Sign Incorporated today, but normally from the studios of 4680Q on Queen Street in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, right across from the Meteor Crater. Have a great day, everybody. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no, we won't. Tomorrow's Saturday. We're not going to see you till Monday with Jody Burnett on Manic Monday. Ciao, ciao for now.